From the bustling streets of Lagos to the sun-kissed islands of the Caribbean to the historic cities of Europe, the African diaspora tells a story of resilience, survival, and cultural brilliance. These are the journeys, struggles, and triumphs of people whose roots trace back to Africa, yet whose stories span the globe. Nigeria, Africa's most populous nation, has been a source of both hardship and hope. Centuries of trade, colonization, and migration shaped communities far beyond its borders. Families were torn apart during the transatlantic slave trade, yet their traditions, music, and language survived. Today, Nigerian culture thrives in every corner of the diaspora, from Afrobeat rhythms in London clubs to Nollywood films inspiring audiences worldwide. Even far from home, Nigerians maintain a connection to their heritage through food, storytelling, and festivals, preserving a culture that refuses to be forgotten. The Caribbean bears the scars of forced migration. Enslaved Africans were brought to islands like Jamaica, Trinidad, and Barbados to work on plantations. Yet, from this painful history arose a vibrant culture, rich music, food, and traditions blending African, European, and indigenous influences. Reggae, calypso, and soca trace their roots to African rhythms and storytelling. Through resistance, religion, and community, the Caribbean diaspora forged identities that are at once local and globally African, celebrating freedom in music, dance, and everyday life. Europe's African diaspora is both historical and modern, from a migration of enslaved Africans during colonial times to 20th and 21st century economic and education migrations. Africans in Europe have created vibrant communities. They bring language, religion, fashion, and culinary traditions, challenging stereotypes and reshaping cultural landscapes. In cities like London, Paris, and Lisbon, African diaspora communities fight for recognition, celebrate heritage, and contribute to art, politics, and commerce, proving that their presence is transformative. Europe's African diaspora is a story of adaptation, resilience, and transformation. From historical migration to modern communities, Africans have left their mark across the continent. Enslaved Africans arrived in Europe centuries ago, and more recently, economic and educational migration brought new waves. Despite facing discrimination, Africans preserved culture through language, religion, and music, leaving lasting imprints on cities and communities. From entrepreneurs to artists, Africans in Europe enrich city life with food, fashion, and cultural festivals. Afrobeat clubs, Caribbean-influenced street parties, and African markets showcase the living heritage of a continent far from home. These communities face challenges, yet their resilience shapes modern European culture in ways that are often overlooked. The African diaspora is a living bridge between continents. Traditions from Nigeria echo in Europe and the Caribbean, and Caribbean culture influences communities in Africa and Europe alike. This exchange of heritage keeps African identity vibrant, no matter the distance. The diaspora reminds us that culture transcends borders, identity persists across generations, and the African spirit thrives, from Lagos to London, Kingston to Lisbon, and everywhere in between. If you believe these stories must continue to be told, like, share, and subscribe to DS Media Chronicles.